Hey everyone, it's me. So it's Thursday night. Who else would it be, right? And had her sitting in on this one. We were just chilling. It's after 7, doing the togetherness time kind of thing. I try to find time for everything. It's a challenge sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
But I try to make sure there's always time that we sit and we eat dinner and we watch shows or movies and talk and hang out. Even if it's while I'm responding to comments and doing squat videos and whatnot. Anyways, so I'm dressed for the occasion because I was working earlier and I got messages in my Instagram from, I believe her channel is New Medusa Rising. And she's like, hey, and hopefully she doesn't mind me saying her name. But yeah, she's like, Twitter, woo, check it out. So I did. And it was like, oh, cool. I was like, I got haters again, woo, right?
Yeah.
Like that happened, it was January. Well, 1st December when T and Sass did her little hate video on me. And then when Foodie Beauty gave me a shout out, I guess. It was like a underhanded shout out. Trying to deflect or whatever. You know?
Something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of like, I was like, yeah. So, you know, I'm kind of like still in a whirlwind because I think it's hilarious. And honestly, what happened last time is a few people liked my stuff and they stayed, and big majority of them came here for something they hate on and they got bored and they left. So welcome.
Yes, yes.
I guess we'll see what happens. You know, and also, like, I just want to comment a little on my own life since this is a Vlog Friday video. Well, let's see. Penny is doing well in her dog training. She is so smart and so eager to learn, and she is just like the best. She's still hyper, and we still can't have her and Junior like in the same room without the muzzle on, without his muzzle on. But it's nice to know that what I thought was real, what I thought was true, because I figured from watching and observing that his aggression was a fear reaction because Penny was too hyper and too puppy-like, because he really shows a lot of interest in her, and he wants to hang out with her, but then she just gets all excited.
She's too big of a puppy.
Yes. And he gets nervous because he thinks that her playfulness is aggression and she doesn't pick up on his cues. So she is doing solo training, and not this week, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I believe the group classes start where she'll be around other dogs. So that should be interesting. She's going to learn how to deal with other dogs. And that makes me a little nervous because I'm very protective of my baby and I don't want her getting hurt. And I know she can be a little bit of a jerk. She doesn't understand, hey, leave me, get out of my face. But she's starting to. I'm very proud of her because today, like when I got so excited, oh my god, I did a oopsie. But it did not go bad. Like, okay, I had her and Lola with me in the room, and I went to go tell Josh about everything. And, oh, I won something. Woo! Facebook notifications like, congratulations, Lori!
Oh.
I won, one of the groups I'm in was doing a birthday thing for February. Woo! I don't know what I won, but I'm excited. I'm always entering stuff, so, but yeah, so I left the room to go tell Josh because I was just like so excited. I was like, oh my god, guess what happened? And I was talking to him, and then I came back in the room And Penny was kissing Lola, but she was very nice about it. And Lola, she wasn't like trying to climb on top of Lola or anything. And Lola was like, "Hey, this is cool," because they're getting along pretty good. I'm a little nervous about the unsupervised because nobody's here to tell Penny to like calm down or anything, but it's still awesome. Yeah, so that was kind of nice to see her and Lola getting along. I know, exciting, not, woo, so much tea. And then so for some real tea, at least to me, like I got bad news yesterday, but it wasn't completely bad news. That my therapist is leaving the clinic where I've been going, and she's been my therapist since 2017, and I have done so well with her. So I'm kind of sad about that, but there is a silver lining. But for now, I gotta keep it under my.
Yes. Good call.
Yeah.
Good
No.
call.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I can't let it go until it's a done deal.
Yep.
So, you know, she just was feeling very overworked and overbooked at the clinic she was at. So, but yeah, and I understand that because it's really hard for doctors, some doctors like therapists and psychiatrists and OBGYNs and veterinarians right now. So, like, we gotta be gentle with them because they're so overbooked and so overwhelmed. There's a shortage of all those doctors right now, especially mental health, because mental health is at an all-time, low right now? Would that be the right way to say it? Instead of high, low. Like, a lot of people, more than usual, are depressed, burnt out, and, you know, they've got a lot of work and a big caseload, and I get it, like I do. So I try to be really, really patient with those people. And plus, we've only got one vet in this town, so I really try to be patient with her because I don't want to get on their bad side. Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening here. Like, Sunday was really windy. We were supposed to get rain today, and it didn't. They're always lying and getting our hopes up. Like,
if they would just stop saying stuff, then it might happen.
Yeah, I mean, stop telling me it's gonna rain, and
then it might rain.
You know, and it doesn't rain. Like, I get so excited, but instead we just get wind again. I have some video I gotta edit it together for a wandering hat. We went around and we took video of like the town and the graveyard finally, even though it was really windy, so we weren't able to do a good video with the graveyard. But, you know, it's not that exciting, believe me. Because we weren't really able to get out of the car because the winds were like 85 miles per hour. And I know I said like a month ago I did the poll and the graveyard won, so I will do a better video. We will do a better video of the graveyard eventually when the weather cooperates, because the days that haven't been super windy, it's been snowy. So, right?
Yeah.
It's been crazy. So, and yes, it does snow in New Mexico. And let's see. So that's pretty much the excitement in our lives. Excuse me. I'm drinking some Diet Mountain. Or no, sorry. Mountain Dew Zero. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get used to calling stuff zero. It's like Diet Soda had 0 calories too. Why did they decide to change it? Now
zero sounds fancier.
I feel like our grandparents, you know? Like, I remember when bread was 25 cents.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But yeah, about the whole girl world stuff. I mean, if anyone wants to do a video commentary or whatever, I don't know what there is to find. But you're welcome to it. And, you know, thanks for some ideas for videos, too. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Just it's kind of fun to see all these people and like I have a really thick skin and that's part of the reason why I'm probably boring. I'll like join in and make fun of me with you.
Yeah.
Him too. Him too.
That's why I used to dress so funny so people would make fun of me.
Exactly. Like we're not the kind of people who want to fit in with society. Like I'm not ashamed of anything in my life right now. I'm not ashamed of anything in my past either because there are experiences that I had to have to grow into the person that I am today. So, you know, like if I spend too much time sitting there and thinking about the past and like feeling bad about it and all that, like then I'm messing up my present. You know? I mean, I gotta live my life now and I gotta live with myself. And if I'm sitting there dwelling on the past, I'm not living my life now. So all I can do is try to be a better person than I was yesterday. I don't want to be better than anyone else than who I was yesterday. So, you know, and okay, like it's funny because this one person was commenting about how like I'm a Foodie Beauty stan, okay? And I've covered this in a video before, but I feel like it needs addressing again maybe. I don't know. I'm not a stan of anybody. I don't identify with anything. I don't like labels. I never have. I've never been good with labels. Like I used to back when I was struggling with my borderline personality more. I wanted to find some kind of identity. I felt like a balloon floating around with no string, nobody holding the string, you know? Like, and I wanted to find some kind of identity. But that just isn't who I am. I'm just me. It's all I can be. You know? And I've got to live with myself. And I'm happy with who I am. We both live our most authentic life.
Popeye said it best. I am's who I am's.
Kind of look like a Popeye. Little skinny man with big old arm muscles. But yeah, like we just live our most authentic life. And you know, I've been a person in the past and I don't want to be that person anymore, and this is who I am now. So welcome to the channel. Hopefully you don't get too bored. You know? And I know people like to look for things that aren't there. They like to pick things apart and make assumptions. But you know what assumptions do? If you don't know, I'll let you figure it out on your own. You know, but I just thought it was funny because this person was like, oh, you're a Foodie Beauty stan, big VIBzer, blah, 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 blah. Like, as I said before with YouTube, it's not really real. Like, to me, there are some people I've gotten to know and I like and I'm close to and I'm friends with on here. And then I have people that I know in real life that watch our channel. But, like, things like Amberlynn and Foodie Beauty and all those, they're not real to me. And I watch what I watch and I don't watch what I don't watch. As in, like, when it gets dramatic, I'm out. I just ignore it. Like, this is what I do when I don't agree with something that doesn't affect my real life. I just look the other way because, like, yeah. It's not anything that is important. Like,
if it's not relevant to our life.
Exactly. Or friends of, you know what I mean? Like Foodie Beauty. I don't know how to explain it because everyone's going to twist everything I say. I don't defend her actions. Like, I feel like I've like I said in another video, I feel like she might have a mental illness. I don't know. Yeah. But I feel like she might have a mental illness, and I kind of think it's messed up to make fun of people with mental illnesses.
Yes.
It's, you know, and it doesn't excuse her bad behavior, but it also doesn't excuse your bad behavior. Because honestly, I've learned the best way to deal with somebody like that is to not give them the attention they want.
Is to look the other direction.
Yeah. I've dealt with a lot of people like that in my life, and it's just like you just don't give them the attention you want or they want, because the more attention they get, the more they're gonna do it, you know. And I used to enjoy her stuff back when she did mukbangs and all that stuff. I don't like live streaming too much. It's just weird to me. Like, it's fine if other people like live streaming. Like, what I like and what you like can be totally different things, and I don't have to get mad at you and you don't have to get mad at me. You know, like, how dare you not like live streaming or whatever. I'm just not a big, I have other things in my life I need to be doing than sitting there and being on a live stream for hours on end or whatever. Like, I'll check in and see what's going on, and if it's interesting, I might watch a little more. And like, I try to support my actual friends' live streams, like, and pop in once in a while. And I was even on like a little panel with some people that like Skinny Queen Reacts and some other people, and it was very casual. And I actually subscribe to Sarah Jane. I don't subscribe to Skinny Queen because, I'm sorry, and I know people are gonna get mad at me for saying this, I don't like hater channels. I don't like hater channels. And some of you guys may have points, but a lot of you are just haters. And I know somebody's like, "Ooh, people whining about haters." Da, 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 da. Well, the thing is, you know, like, a lot of the defenses people would give, oh, we're not hating on her for the weight. We're hating on her for the personality. But then you guys attack her weight. You attack her looks. But all the other LOL cows, you attack their looks, you attack their weight, their food choices, all that stuff. And it kind of kills your defense that it's not about their looks or their weight. And then, like, even with the post about me, they were just making assumptions because of the way I look, or the way, you know, because I'm big, or the way he looks, you know.
Yeah.
Because he's grew up off grid, you know, and he doesn't really fit into society standards. Like, he's lived on a farm off grid like a lot of his life.
Yeah.
Like, he lived on Taos Mesa. If you don't know, look it up. It's an off-grid community in New Mexico.
One of the most rugged places to live.
Yeah, well, Slab City is definitely the ruggedest.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a word, but it is now.
Slab City and Taos Mesa, they're pretty close.
So, actually, when we got together, he was still kind of living in Taos, off grid. He was in town for a while, living in your bus.
Yeah.
But you planned on going back to Taos, right?
Yeah.
So he was just down here for a while. I don't remember why. Were you visiting your sister or
something like that?
And yeah. So, you know, obviously, if he's lived off grid, he's not really too concerned about society standards, you know. And I've never, well, I can't say never, never say never. Once I came to terms with myself, or became more self-aware or whatever, I mean, I remember there was a time I wanted to fit in and I wanted to be thinner and I wanted to do this, but like, even then, I never wanted to be a thin girl. I still don't want to be a thin girl. Why would I want to be something I'm not attracted to? When I mean, there are some pretty thin girls. I'm not trying to, before anybody says, oh, she's bashing thin girls. There are some very attractive thin girls. And, like, all women are beautiful in their own ways. But when I see a girl that I'm attracted to, I'm like, oh, and they're usually curvy. Like, when I say curvy, I mean bigger. BBWs, whatnot. So that's what I'm attracted to. Why would I want to be the opposite of that? Like, I want to be what I find attractive. And I know there's probably those people out there, oh, she's so delusional. Like I was in this one group. I'm in this one group, and I was reading some of the posts, and it's about Amberlynn, and it was a video where she was dancing. Remember I told you about this one.
Yeah.
She was dancing, and her fat was jiggling, and somebody's like, "Oh, it's so disgusting. How can she not be embarrassed by herself?" And this and that, and even in my squat videos, I have people like trying to clown on me, and I'm just laughing to myself how hilarious it is, because these are the same people who would be telling me to go to gym, eat a salad, you know, like work out, and then they're commenting on the videos where I'm working out, laughing at me or making fun of me, and I'm just like, and I've said this in the video before too, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Bart Simpson, man, he's a philosopher.
Yep.
Eat my shorts. Okay, that was a shout out to my friend if he's watching this. But and people misconstrue what I say and think I'm defending Chantal or something when I say these things. I'm just like, I'm a big believer of live and let live. That, okay, karma. I feel like it isn't my job anymore to try to correct other people. Even the people in my life. I recently blocked somebody because they were hateful. But this was a person who was in my life. And I, for the sake of peace, let them be. Like, I wouldn't comment on their post on their Facebook because I knew I wasn't going to change their mind. And I don't have the time to sit there and try to change their mind. But then when they came on my post and they started talking trash, I was like, hey, you know, this is my Facebook. You can do what you want on yours, but when you come on mine, that's when it's drawing a line in the sand. And they didn't stop. They proceeded to try to justify their hatefulness. And I was like, you know, some of my closest friends are gays, trans, drag people, or drag queens. Like, one of my really good friends is, well, now, I don't even know. Well, she does drag shows, but she's transgender, and she's a very beautiful human being. So, you know. But unfortunately, like, living in the town that I'm living in now, I've learned sometimes you just gotta, like, look the other way with people. And yeah, there are just some battles that aren't worth it. I have too much going on in my life. And that may seem however you want to take it, but I've got to worry about keeping a roof over my mom's head, my dog's head, my head, my husband's head. I got to work. I don't have time to try to fight battles, you know, because people are just going to feel the way they are. And there are some people who are never going to change the way they feel about things. So, you know, and I don't know Foodie. I'm not going to sit there and try to correct her actions. It's not my job, you know? So, I know people are going to be like, that's fine, whatever. Say what you need to say. If that's what you need to get out. Like, if anybody on here watches Review Bra, like, not his food reviews, but listens to his podcast or his, like, radio show, him and I have a very similar philosophy in life. What works for you may not work for others. So, you know, like, he's like, I don't like football, but if you like football, great. You know, I don't this, but if you do, awesome. Like, that's great, you know? Like, agree to disagree kind of thing. And I realize sometimes there are things that you can't agree to disagree on, but then I just don't deal with it. So, because in this town there are people, I feel like a rarity. Because a lot of the people in this town, now I'm not saying all, before anybody jumps to any of those conclusions, Not all the people in this town. So, but a lot have opposing views than I do. And the way they treat animals in this town. And I'm a weirdo in this town. I'm a weirdo anywhere. And I've got the colorful hair. I've got the weird job. I have got the vibrant, outspoken personality that I've stifled a lot since I've moved here. So, you know, I love things that people in this town don't. You know? So I just kind of just live my life the way I feel is right for me, and if somebody doesn't like it, I'm not embarrassed. I'm me. Who else would it be? Who else would I be? So, I don't know. I feel like I'm just rambling. These are usually 20 to 30 minutes on Fridays, so, you know, I hope it gave you enough ammunition. So if you want to leave hate comments, go right ahead. If you want to tell me how boring I am, that's cool. You know, I've been trying to get on Tosh.0 for like 12 years now, so yeah. If you want to laugh at Josh's dancing, he's cool with that too, you know. I don't know, like, yeah, but I just feel people shouldn't be so quick to judge and jump to assumptions, and should live and let live. The world is so full of hate, and I feel like more people should learn how to love. Hippy dippies. Woo. And you know, if you got any questions for me, as long as they're not ridiculous, I'm not going to say stupid, because there are no stupid questions. You know, and even if I've covered the answer before, what the heck, I will cover it again, whatever, or I'll point you to the video where I covered it. So yeah, and if you have any questions for Hatter, right, just let us know. I mean, there's the video where he talks about his car accident, or the car accident he was in. It used to be one of the headliners on my channel, but since I've been revamping my channel, I took it down because I want to put another video. So I just haven't got around to making those yet. But there is a video about his car, the accident he was in. He was a passenger, got hit by a drunk driver, died 3 times. So
messed me up really bad.
Yeah, and so, I mean, he was in a coma for what, 2.5 months?
The day shy of 2 months.
There we go, day shy of 2 months. Like I said, died a few times. Yeah. Had an ICP bolt in his brain.
For those that are wondering, it stands for intracranial pressure.
So
that way they can monitor the pressure of my head.
Junior's having some kind of weird dream over there.
Yeah.
You just see a big black butt. So, and he has a traumatic brain injury. It affects his memory. So, you know, if you guys would like to continue making fun of him after knowing this information, and that's your conscience.
Go right ahead. I'll make fun of me too.
Right? I mean, if you feel comfortable making fun of a disabled person, more power to you. That sits well with your karma.
I love it.
We just laugh. Like, life is too short to be taken seriously, or to be too serious. I don't know. Yeah. The same thing. Like, I don't care if people take me seriously. I did. You know, I don't take myself seriously. So.
Shit, I barely even take myself to dinner.
You swore. No, we're past the 8 seconds.
I said shoot, didn't I?
Yeah. I like the one Cooking with the Hatters where I swore and I covered it up. I said poopsicles, and Shane heard it, and he was like, "What the heck?" That was hilarious. Cause I YouTube's always like changing the rules and it's hard to keep up sometimes. But yeah, like I know once I made a video and they're like, "Oh, you're leading the witness." You're like, "That's funny. I'm leading the witness, babe." Hey, look, it's a ponytail holder. It looks like a bracelet. So, you know, whatever you guys want to say, go right ahead. Maybe we'll find some things to like respond to, or maybe we'll just ignore you. Whichever, take a chance, roll the dice.
Either way, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So welcome to Hatter House.
Yeah.
Ooh, and by the way, my name is not Hatter House.
My name is Mad Hatter.
Yes.
Well, not legally, but
he's Mad Hatter. Everyone in town knows him as the Hatter.
most people don't even know I've got a real name.
This is very true.
They think that that is my real name.
Like when I talk to some of my friends and I say Josh, they're like, "Who? Hatter? My husband, Josh?" Because he has been known as Hatter in this town forever.
Yeah.
I didn't even know his real name for like 20 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, and we've told this story before, so longtime viewers, they already know it. But we met each other back in like 2002 or something. I don't remember. It's been a long time. Back when I originally lived here for a while. And I worked at Circle K, and I had these friends who were friends with his stepdad, and I would see him at Circle K. I would never talk to him because I didn't know how to, because I was like, oh. Like, because he looked like he stepped out of a metal punk video, and I have never met anybody like that in real life before, you know, and that was like my thing, even though I look like a little square.
I had a mohawk taller than I could reach.
Yeah. Big green mohawk, spike collars, chains, big ass Jinko jeans, you know, band t-shirts. He's calmed down a lot in his old age. And I've just wilded out. Like, I was a square little quiet mousy looking chick back then, even though I was wanting to be something different. Back then they didn't make cool clothes for fat girls. So, you know. Yeah. And and then at his stepdad's house one day, he gave me a rehab CD, and it was like every time, for years and years, every time I listened to Rehab, I was like, I wonder what ever happened to that weird Hatter guy. You know, he always would either have his mohawk or these big old hats, like the ones that are around our, well, you see them. I'm like, whatever happened to that weird Hatter guy, you know? And then one day we bumped into each other, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird because, like, that's another situation where life takes you where you need to be. Like, because my ex cheated on me, and I became friends with the person they cheated on me with, kind of. And we hung out all the time, and then one day she was like, hey, I'm supposed to meet this friend of mine, can we go pick him up? And I'm like, okay. And I'm terrified of people and men and whatever, but for some reason that day I was like, well, you're never going to meet new people if you don't get out there and meet new people. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to say yes. And I did. And he got in the car, and it was dark, and he was in the back seat. And poor guy. Because we were driving around for a little bit, and she's like, oh, I forgot to introduce you guys. And she goes, Hatter, this is Lori. Lori, this is Hatter. And I slam on the brakes. Poor guy almost flies into the back of her seat. And I click on the dome light. He's probably blinded. I'm like, fucking Hatter in my car? If he didn't know at that moment that I liked him, Yeah. Did you?
I thought so.
You thought I wanted the D for sure. I mean, you know, like, oh, this chick likes me. So, you know, and then we ended up together after that. Like, it was a long road after that, like a few months.
Yeah.
Because of stuff and people and drama.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was where we were meant to be. So, yeah, and look, a million years later, here we are.
Bunch of hats hanging from the ceiling.
And I was resigned to never be in a relationship again after my ex. I was like, well, I got my dogs. I'm good. Men suck. And he had been single for what, like 6 years?
At least.
Because he was like, relationships are just drama and I don't need it. And plus, with the brain injury, a lot of people don't understand him the way he is. And they think that the things he does, okay, the things he, I can't, bleh. The things he does, okay,
Yeah.
things that he does are on purpose. And they're not. Like, they're not because he's talking to other girls or, like, doesn't care about you. It's because, like, he literally probably just forgot. Right?
Yeah.
Or, you know, like I said, he lived off grid for how long? So, you know, obviously, like, sitting here and texting all day is not his thing. You know, and for somebody without patience, it could have been challenging. So, you know, because sometimes being with somebody like me, like, there's a lot of patience. But, you know, with a traumatic brain injury, it's a lot of patience too. But, like, my mother has a traumatic brain injury as well. So I've had some experience there. And also, like, after my ex, like, somebody who's calm and chill, yay. No drama. So if you guys want drama, go back to when I was still with my ex. So much drama for you guys. Like, tons. You'll love it. So, okay, this is almost 40 minutes long. I'm gonna go. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you haven't, well, thanks for stopping by. And if you made it this long and you want a channel shout out, if you actually have, like, content on your channel and you want a community page shout out, what should they say? What should the comment?
Say nachos rock.
Nachos rock. And if you have a channel with content, I will give you a community page shout out. So, I know a few of you will be there like, nachos rock. Okay. So, laters. And
Peace.
look out for the normal people. Laters.